It's the beginning of a fair, and we have JetCat behind us, but we're not at Jet Power or Jets and Props as it's now known. This is Rotor-Live. That's why all that we're going to be seeing today are helicopters. But let's see how many of our good friends are here and how much we can learn or what we can see about these whirly birds, and ask a load of stupid questions from the point of view of a heli newbie or an airplane or jet guru. Let's have a look. So here we have JetCat with all of the turbines that they're going to be using in all the different helis. We've already had a quick interview with them, all about that in a separate video though. Back here, some really massive helis. I mean, for a quick idea of how big these things are, I mean, you get the idea. Just under 25 kilos, this one, and just under 35 kilos, the big tiger over there, which, as you can see, everyone is loving. We can't even get close to it. The whole event is actually done at a hyperdrome where they normally have horse races. The weather here in Germany in March isn't probably the best time to have a heli event, but it is what it is. One of the big brands that even I know, Freakware, here sharing stands with Horizon Hobby, which of course we do know from planes. Contronic, the motors and speed controllers that Raquel uses. And this year, something new, they've got Pringles. But if we have a look here, we've got a quick view of the whole lineup. And their new product for this Rotor-Live this year is their new motor for the helis, which is now an in-runner as opposed to an out-runner. So if we have a look at the one we have here, it actually has cooling fins on the outside. It has a kind of fan on the inside which helps cooling, and apparently due to it being an in-runner and the bearings being on the top and the bottom and more displaced out the way, it's also a lot more stable and balanced than the standard outrunners that we're used to seeing. Helis upon helis, more helis. As I say, I don't know much about these, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. Something that's always nice to see, different machinery. These guys have had this mill running all weekend long, and it's actually seemingly able to make full nuts, bolts, you name it, it'll cut it out with an amazing degree of precision. I'd love to have one, but gosh, I wonder how much it costs. We'll have to ask that later on. One of the big names in helicopters, of course, Vario. Some of the biggest, nicest kits out there. They seem to have a thing this year with twin rotors, and especially the Chinooks. We have 1, 2, 3 with this one down here, 4. And I mean, if helicopters are complicated enough as they are, with one rotor set, having 2 of them, and I'm sure they have really clever systems to prevent them all colliding in the middle, but it just seems like an amazing work of machining and art, just so everything works together and they don't collide somewhere in the middle. What else have we got around here? We have all the usual things where they have little tools, which we've got batteries, lipos, Genzace are here, helicopter services. There's quite a surprising number of people that actually build helis, fly helis, teach you to fly helis and so on here. So, I mean, again, big bubbles. Most of them here with JetCat turbines inside them, which is nice to see. We go around the back, getting to what's probably our favorite stand here at Rotor-Live, which is where they have all the fruit and chocolates. Got to stop by here. Hello. One of the stands that we often see at Jet Power, Muldental are here. All your possible wires, leads, connectors, cables, you name it, they've got it. Little food area. It's on this first level, almost everything here is actually towards scale helis. We'll move upstairs in a moment where we have all of the 3D stuff. As I say, there's not much I can say about all this other than how big and how nice they all look, as I don't know much about any of them. But all very well finished. And we've been seeing them fly outside all day as well. Now, one of the big brands, Mikado. Not only Mikado helicopters, but of course they make the V-bar radios, which, if we have a look over here, we actually have all three of them available to us. Now, unlike most radios, they actually have a rather interesting system. It's designed pretty much exclusively for helicopters, but aside from the software being dedicated to helis, it has a few interesting features, like the fact that the setup isn't stored in the radio, it's stored in the helicopter. So if you fly mode 1 and your friend flies mode 2, all you need to do is bind your friend's radio to your heli, and that's it. No need to copy all the settings. It also has kind of gyros inside, it all changes. This is actually the radio that Raquel uses, so all good stuff, but very heli orientated. But that's enough for scale. Let's go upstairs and have a look at some 3D helis. This is more the younger side of the event. All the young guns, all the testosterone, all the 3D guys. In one corner, XL Power, current world champion, crazy flying, miniature aircraft. This is the booth that we're spending most of the time at this weekend, which is Soxos and Heli Professional. They've got here their brand new Soxos Strike Lite, which runs on 6S as opposed to the standard 12S. Comes as a combo, so it comes with motor, servos, and speed controller for 6S for more sporty flying as opposed to the extreme 3D, which you get with the Strike 7.1 that we're used to seeing Raquel fly. Very popular motors, X-Nova, one of the biggest heli shops in Europe, Live Hobby. And if we look over there at the back, we have all of the OMP lineup, which I actually have an M1, which is the small one, and an M2, which is the one on top, waiting at home to be unboxed and give it a quick video review. So look forward to that on the channel coming soon. YGE speed controllers, KST servos, ISDT chargers, and of course our good friends at Goblin, who this year have just released the Goblin Raw 500, which is effectively the Raw 700, which we've been used to seeing, which has this rather unique cutout in the side, which if you look at it from the side is actually effectively Goblin's logo put into a helicopter. So whether that was planned from years and years ago, or whether it's just a happy coincidence that they've now got the technology to make it happen, but this is basically the Goblin heli now in a 500 size, which we already had the 700 and the even slightly smaller version, which is the 440, 420. This one has the direct motor as well, so always innovating here at SAB. But it's the only stand that has something that we know how to fly, and that is the good old Lizard. Now, if only they would let me fly it, then the weekend would be complete. But unfortunately, it's not the case. It's a heli event, it's not a heli, can't fly helis, so gotta move on. And we're reaching the end here. We have a couple of shops that have a little bit of everything, and then finishing off Tron and Ego Drift, who are making big waves with their motors here at Rotor-Live. So there we go. Quick view from the inexperience of a plain guy of what it is here at Rotor-Live. And if we just finish off going outside, this is the view of the rainy weekend here in Germany in March.